They've taken it to court. A Houston-based law firm on behalf of a family has filed a lawsuit alleging Child Protective Services discriminates against black families. That suit says blacks are robbed of opportunities to take in their own family members whose children are removed from their parents' care, and they're typically turned over to white foster parents. Those who filed the lawsuit say they found documentation by policymakers saying African American children are better off away from their families and communities when taken into custody. Joining me now to talk about the allegations is Kofi Taharka and Pamela Williams, the attorney in this case. We want to thank you guys for coming on The Factor Uncensored.
Thank you.
Did you find a pattern and a practice of doing this with the state of Texas and CPS?
Well, yes. I think it is well known, it's been since 2005, that CPS has a racial discrimination problem. They are undoing racism. Racial decisions are made. They're biased, the caseworkers. So yes, this is a practice that we've seen, and it resulted in this instance in the loss of a very special child, and a family has been broken. And so we're saying we have to deal with this problem, and we have to get a justice for our client.
Now, Kofi, let's make this as basic as possible.
Okay.
You're saying if there is a black child that's been taken away from this family, and there's extended family who are also African American, CPS would choose to go outside of that circle to someone else who may be white or Hispanic or of another race. Is that what you guys are saying?
In the National Black United Front, we have to put everything in historical context. We have to look at how children are experienced in this country over 400 years, how people were sold and how children were taken out of families, and then move forward to today. And yes, that is what we're saying, is that too many times qualified family members are being disqualified. I have a case here from 20 years ago where we fought Franklin Chapman's case. Same situation. A white man tried to take this young black boy away from his qualified grandmother. Thankfully, we rallied, the community rallied, and they got him back. Today, what happened at that federal courthouse, we had the experts, the real experts there. Almost 200 years worth of experience in legal, activism, social services, community centers, and organizations were there saying, yes, the whole system is condemned for being racially biased when it comes to placement of black children.
Mrs. Williams, let's bring you into this. Now, was there a situation where there could be a concern of putting children back with the same family and they would have contact with the parent that they've been taken away from?
Right. Well, that was not the case in our case. What we're saying is that the family is the first choice. There's a federal law called Fostering Connections and Family, and the relatives are your first choice because children do better when they are at least with extended families. There's some cultural, recognition and benefit to the child. And in this case, the relative was not fairly considered. She was targeted, and she was eliminated based on racial stereotyping and, discrimination. And so we're saying that this case involved, as so many do, racial stereotypes and stigmatisms, to eliminate our families.
All right. Pamela Williams, Kofi Taharka, thank you guys for coming on. Now, the state filed a motion to have this case thrown out, dismissed, saying it was baseless, but they haven't said or issued a public statement other than to say in the lawsuit that this case is baseless.